Hello students, today we'll be talking about vegetables and we'll be talking about fruits. So like you know students that vegetables are basically plants or parts of plants that are served either raw or in cooked form as a part of the main course of the meal. So what is important is that vegetables we eat in the form of salads also, and we eat in the form of dishes also like curries, like sabzi. So it supplies a lot of nutrients, especially the one that is served as a salad. It supplies a lot of nutrients and provides a variety. It provides a difference. The eyes get a new color every time we eat a different kind colored vegetable. We taste different textures. We have a different flavor. So that is what is important. So it supplies nutrients, provides a variety in the diet, gives flavor, gives color and texture to the fruits. Now, when we classify vegetables, we classify them firstly on the basis of the botanical classification. So, first group is the root vegetables, carrots, beetroot, turnips, radish, they come under the root vegetables, okay. Then comes the tubers. After the root vegetables, then comes the tubers. What are tubers? For example, potatoes, sweet potatoes and tapioca, which you call as cassava. And if you've heard of something which is known as sago, or it is called sabudana in Hindi, for that tapioca plant is used, okay. After the roots and tubers, comes the bulb. So when we talk about the onion, when we talk about garlic, when we talk about leeks, they come under the category of bulbs. After bulbs, we come to the leaf or the leafy vegetables. So like the cabbage, the lettuce, the spinach, the fenugreek leaves, the coriander leaves, the mint leaves, they all come into the leafy vegetables. After the leaves comes the flowery vegetables. So when you eat broccoli, when you eat cauliflower, when you eat a neem flower, they come under the flowery vegetables or the flowers, okay. After the flowers comes the fruits. And what are the fruits? The tomatoes, the brinjal, the ladyfinger, pumpkin, cucumber, the gourd family, that is the ash gourd, the bottle gourd, the ridge gourd. This all comes into the fruit category, okay. And what else? The capsicum comes in the fruit category. The drumstick comes in the fruit category. After fruits, we talk about the legumes or the leguminous plants, which includes the pods and the seeds, okay. These are the parts of the legumes, okay. So peas, the mutton that we eat, the beans, the broad beans, you call them cholai, French beans, double beans, Bengal gram beans, these all come under the legumes. After the legumes, we also eat the stem portion of a plant like the ginger stem, the amaranth stem, the celery stem, the plantain stem. These come under the stem portion. Then we also eat the seed in the form of sprouts. When we eat green gram dal, when we eat Bengal gram dal, we eat the chana sprouts, we eat the methi sprouts, we eat the moong sprouts, we eat the soya bean sprouts. So we eat them in the form of seeds also. And last but not the least is the fungi or the fungus that we eat. And where do we get that from? We get that from mushrooms, okay. So remember, if we are talking about fungus, we are talking about mushrooms when we are talking about the edible fungus, okay. Let's come to the nutritive value or the composition. So when we talk about the composition of the vegetables, we talk about their variety. Different vegetables have different nutritive compositions, and since they are rich in a lot of minerals and a lot of vitamins, especially the B vitamins, okay, and the it is also rich in antioxidants. If you understand what are antioxidants, I have told you a lot of times, these are antioxidants, and that is what makes them protective in nature, because the antioxidants, the vitamins and the minerals, they help us fight any sort of diseases. So that is why they are called protective fruits, and we've talked about that earlier. So they are classified. When we talk about the nutritional classification, we are classifying the vegetables into, first is the green leafy vegetables, okay, second is the roots and tubers, and third comes the other vegetables. Okay, so either they are GLBs, or they are roots and tubers, or they are the other vegetables. Now the selection portion, as you know, we should always go for the fresh, crisp, and something that has been, that has been ripe in nature. It should not be raw. It should not be something that has been, plucked from the tree and given it to you. So it should be fresh. It should not be yellow. It should not have insect holes. It should be firm. It should be tender. It should not be insect infested. It should not be moldy. It should not be liquidy in nature. When you touch maybe a brinjal and your finger goes inside, that means it is very soft. It has been either it has suffered some injury, or it has been punctured or broken, or it has some insect infestation. Okay. So there are a lot of vegetables which have different amount of nutrients, and when we talk about certain vegetables, like when we talk about drumsticks, they have very good amounts of calcium. All right. When we talk about beet greens, they have very good amount of iron. When we talk about green leafy vegetables, they have very good amount of vitamin A, or we can say they have very good amount of beta carotene. Okay. Similarly, all the yellow and orange colored foods have a lot of vitamin A that we call beta carotene, and they are again protective in nature. Okay, so there are different kinds of foods. When the question comes that which of these vegetables, not fruits, which of these vegetables are rich in vitamin A, so first comes the green leafy vegetables. Okay, maybe the spinach or the fenugreek leaves, they are rich in the green leafy vegetables. After that comes your orange or yellow colored vegetables. Okay, so always remember this. Maybe the carrot or the pumpkin, which is orange or yellow colored in yellow in color. Okay, so and when we talk about cauliflower, we talk about carrots, we talk about greens, we talk about colocasia, we talk about methi. All these have different nutritive values, and if you really want to search for their nutritive values, you can always look into the Indian food composition table. IFCT, Indian Food Composition Table 2017. This has been released by the National Institute of Nutrition, and this gives the exact value of the vegetables, the amount of nutrients that they have, the amount of vitamins and minerals that these vegetables are having. Okay, so this was the nutrient part. Now let's talk about the nutritive value of certain vegetables. Like when we talk about vitamin C, so we can say that all vegetables are basically they are good sources of vitamin C, especially the capsicums, especially the green chilies. They have good amount of vitamin C, and similarly plantain greens, they contain high amounts of iron. The higher amount of moisture content is present in the vegetables, so they are very highly perishable. If you don't keep them in the refrigerator, they might get rotten, they might get not good enough for being able to cook the next day. So because they have a lot amount of moisture in them, especially the small bitter gourds. The bitter gourds are highly nutritious and they're especially advised for people who suffer from diabetes. And since the vegetables, they contain a lot amount of fiber, so they are good for people who suffer from constipation, who suffer from hypertension, who suffer from diabetes, who want to have a weight loss, and who want to improve their gut health. Now, there is something which is known as the food pigments, right? When we talk about food pigments,